What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Like always, like and subscribe and leave a comment down below and hit that notification bell. Today I want to do a quick review over Tom Clancy's The Cardinal of the Kremlin. This is book number 6 if you're following chronological order in the Jack Ryan universe. This book was awesome. I freaking enjoyed it so much. It's a hefty book at 797 pages, so just know that before you go into it. I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. Close to a 10 out of 10, mainly because there's just so much going on in the book and so many characters whose basically the plots of each character are just interweaving throughout the story. It's you could get lost real quick. The one thing you got to know about Tom Clancy books going into them is that think of it as like this: when you come to the characters in the story is a pond and the characters are a handful of pebbles in your hand. Throw the pebbles way up in the air and watch them land in the pond. All the pebbles are going to cause their own ripple effects that the ripples intertwine, but they're all going to land in a different spot at the bottom of the pond. So basically what I'm trying to say is the bottom of the pond is the end of the story. And even though some of these characters, like most of them are going to run into each other throughout the story, or something that happens somewhere is connected to something that's happening somewhere else that's connected to this other thing happening somewhere, and it all just kind of folds into the end. So this was another one, though, that the plot of the book really has no ending. You know what I mean? It's the brood of the Cold War. Russia's basically ahead of the game on creating these like Star Wars laser missile things that could just, do stuff, and America's like, that's scary, we don't like that. And so they're getting this information from a spy that's been a Russian diplomat that's a spy, the Cardinal. If you've read the first 5 books, you've come across his name, his code name. Anyways, he's given them the information. He's been a spy for them for 30 years. He's a Russian hero, all kinds of crazy stuff. Ryan isn't really doing anything in the beginning in the novel. You have another Berendikov, or whatever his name is. He's working under the Cardinal in Russia, and he's tasked with looking over these, laser sites all the time, while Ryan and the CIA are trying to figure out just how ahead of the game and how dangerous this is and going on. All at the same time, while another Russian diplomat that's, down at the bottom of the food chain catches a Russian CIA spy whose father is also a diplomat. So they got her. The torture that they put her through, what is it called? Deprivation of the senses. Well, it has a name. Sense deprivation or something. Anyways, they put her in that. It's brutal. It's pretty hardcore what she goes through. And then all this stuff's going on. Then you have another Russian spy living in America that's tasked. There's Berendikov for the Russians, and then there's Al Gregory for the Americans. They both have all this knowledge of these laser things. Gregory being like, he knows a lot, the American. And so you have this other Russian in America that's tasked with trying to kidnap Gregory. You have Berendikov heading down to a base near Afghanistan to look over their laser stuff that's going on there. It's like on the border or something. Then you have these other characters that are basically, that leading the Afghans to take out this Russian base. All of this playing a role in the main meat of the story, which ends up turning into the Cardinal finally gets busted and they got to get him out of Russia. That's basically what it is. So insert Ryan now into the story. This is 500 pages in now. We're getting to this. Another thing you need to know about Clancy is if you don't like attention to detail, don't read Tom Clancy. Everything is extremely detailed. He is a master of the detail. Like, he is so good at what he does. And the book has quite a bit of action, quite a bit of cat and mouse going on. A lot of good stuff. A lot of great scenes happen in the book. It is definitely... They're just getting better and better as I'm moving up the list. Without Remorse still holds my #1 spot, but, that was one of his later works if you're looking at publication order. Anyways, Ryan's tasked with now trying to figure out how he can go to Russia and convince, one of their leaders to get the Cardinal out. All while this is going on, John Clark is amidst the Dallas submarine from the hunt for Red October, if you remember that. He's just chilling. They don't know what they're waiting out in the ocean for, but they're waiting on something. So you have that going on. I feel like I'm missing some characters. There's a lot of characters going on. You're following the Russian guy who's basically tasked with trying to get information out of the Cardinal. And what you get in this book is a lot of the Cardinal. And he is just, he's suffering. He's mentally ill. He's wrecked. His character development, or devolving, we should say, because he dwindles down as the book goes into, you know, I'm not going to spoil it, but he dwindles down, and that the character-driven part of this book is some of the best I've ever read. You know, beyond King, beyond Kuntz, that's all I can compare it to, like top authors. Tom Clancy smoked some in the character profiling, and for all the characters in this book. You get a great one with you have the Al Gregory and his girlfriend. They're both scientists on the American base that's way behind in their laser technology. And they have a friend who's also an agent of the Russian spy lady that's tasked with trying to kidnap Al Gregory. So you have a great character development with this. Her name was Tal Bezing. Super, like, story-driven character going on. And all that, you know. And for really, there's no reason she needed to be so included in the book, to be honest. But it's a great story. And then the way she goes to... Her story ends, you know, quite fast. It's crazy. She doesn't die. She doesn't die. So, you know, there's no... I'm trying to shoot these videos with no spoilers. So, yeah. 9 out of 10. Probably, you know... Nah, it was a 9 out of 10. Because there is, you know, you could probably cut 300 pages of detail from this book and still have an awesome book. But it is a long book. It took me like 3 days to read. It was ridiculous. Like, usually I don't like taking that long to get through a book, but it was fine. It was a great way on March 31st of 2026 to end the month. It was a great book to end the month with. Now I'm ready to start on the next pile of books. If you've seen my TBR till summer, almost all of those, except a few, I switched out, and then I've added a bunch. That's it, you know, but I'm reading at a pretty... I'm trying to read at a pretty crazy pace. So next up, though, on the list, y'all, that I said I'd be reading with this one is Chopping Mall. The poll will close, and the last time the other poll I have up, the last time I looked, it looked like House of Thunder by Dean Koontz was going to take that poll. So I'll be reading that, and Star Trek Foreign Foes immediately after Chopping Mall. My plan is to read each one in a day, so I'll be through 3 books by April 3rd is my plan, but you know, sometimes they don't work out. But I'm going to do my best, and it's my birthday weekend, so my plans are to watch movies and watch Star Trek and read a crap load. So I want to finish a book a day. It's also Easter, which I don't care about, but anyways, I got to watch the kids do some egg stuff, but that's it. Chopping Mall, I'm excited for. It's super short. I could probably read it tonight and be done in 30 minutes. But we'll see. I might. I don't know. With basketball's on and my team's been sucking, but they're finally, well, they're barely winning. I'll look back. Cardinal of the Kremlin. This book was awesome. The review, I shooting this on March 31st, 2026. The review will drop in a week or two. So just know that. My March ranking video will be out before this review's out, and another book on that list, but that's totally fine. So that's the video today, guys. Like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit the notification bell, and I'm pretty excited for the next Tom Clancy book. I'm going to wait a few weeks to get to it, but, you know, we'll see. Depends on how fast I'm reading. Later.